Hello, this is Theolyn again with another episode of Bridge of Stars. I've created this series in order to support us as we move along a new journey to a new way of doing things, which is both exciting and sometimes rather terrifying because it means abandoning some of the old ways of doing things and looking for new structures. Well, the bridge is a structure. Can we trust the bridge? Will it carry us forward? Are the planks firm? Hopefully they're not rotten. Are the stones crumbling? Well, in many ways, the stones and the structures of the present way of doing things are crumbling. But we look to the stars for the wisdom to keep walking and saying, how can we be ingenious and create a new vision for ourselves? Because intelligence and ingenuity is really part of what human beings are about in a way that no other creatures are. Right, so what is that angel wisdom coming from the stars? What is it for today? Because every day I draw a character from the angel script pack, and the angel script pack is based around a series of channeled messages that I got many, many years ago in the early 90s. And yet their wisdom continues to be valuable and special for us under all kinds of circumstances. So what is the character today? Here we have the Hermit. Right, so yesterday I was talking about the celebration character, and we were talking about how people want to celebrate together, have parties, have birthday parties and weddings or even funerals. And this is prohibited or certainly inhibited because of the issue of gathering in groups. So people are taking to using the internet and using Zoom and so forth. And in many ways that's quite successful, sometimes bringing people together who don't normally get together and who might not travel to a certain event because it'd be too far. So some advantages there. Always advantages, not silver linings, golden linings. Now we have the opposite, the Hermit. So yes, that is the same name as one of the tarot cards. So you may be familiar, very familiar, if you use tarot, with the concept of the Hermit being a person, male or female person, who goes inward and researches something that is natural to them, which sometimes they don't pay attention to, that they don't explore it because they're so preoccupied with the outer world. So let me read you a little passage from the channeled message. The Hermit wraps herself in darkness in order to find the light. She encloses herself and moves away from the ordinary life in order to explore the inner world, which most people find extraordinary, but which is the true life in which we all need to participate. The Hermit is a seeker of the divine. Like most of us, she has removed herself from the divine source. Now she has vowed to return and drink from the waters of life. So the story with this particular character, just like the story with the Tarot Hermit, is that we need to take the time for this introspection, for reflection, to find something that we already have, but that we are not taking sufficient notice of, and that we are possibly just ignoring because we haven't given it time. But now we have more time to look inwards. So I often think that the character represents a person, feet in the ground, head in the sky, divine light in the orbs. Is that block across the middle? What is that? Is it stopping the flow? Or is it something that's containing a magical offering, an offering of wisdom? Perhaps it's a book, perhaps it's a treasure. So many mythologies describe people looking for some kind of treasure. It might be the Holy Grail, it might be the Golden Fleece, it might be a magic ring, and people have to face dragons in order to find it, or serpents. One very famous mystical text that I'm very fond of, which was certainly written a couple of thousand years ago probably, is called The Robe of Glory. And it tells about a young man who is sent into Egypt, and his parents have given him all kinds of accoutrements and stuff that he needs. But they won't allow him to wear the robe of glory until he's gone into Egypt to find a pearl. And then, when he's got that pearl and he has to meet a serpent in order to get it, then he gets his robe of glory. So we are often faced with this mystical mythology that's telling us, you've got to find something. You've got to find something in here, in your heart, in your very being, and it's there waiting for you to uncover it. So don't neglect that. Find ways to get in touch with what is in here, because what is in here is divine. And all the stuff that we have around us, all the nice sitting rooms and whatever is important to us in our material life, that's one thing. And it's, we don't have to be puritanical and say we've got to give all that up, but we have to know what's inside as well as what's outside. We have to place a value on that gold inside our heart. And then the outer stuff, the outer accoutrements, become, beautiful to have, but they're not the essence. They're not the deep heart essence. And that's what the Hermit is encouraging us to find, the deep heart essence. And we go on journeys to do that. We go on journeys to meet angelic guides. We go on journeys perhaps to meet our ancestors who are encouraging us on this journey. We are not alone on the journey. We may be a hermit and it may feel like a lonely path, but the hermit has always got some kind of guidance. That's what the little box is. It's the guidance. So remember that. Ask for the guidance wherever you look for it in your own life, whether it's through angels or spiritual guides of other levels of being. It's there for you. It will always be there for you. Never ever lose your trust in that. And don't lose your trust in the idea that the bridge will carry you and that the bridge will support you. The structures that seem to be falling apart or at least shifting around, being a bit wobbly, that are related to the outer world and the economical world, they will change and shift. But the essence in the heart, the gold in the heart, stays the same, always, forever. So having said all that, I'm going to just finish with the quote from today's Bridge of Stars. Here we are, and I think it fits very nicely with our Hermit card. Here we are. It's called Be a Guiding Light. It's a Baha'i prayer, and the Baha'i faith comes from Persia. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be fair in judgment and guarded in your speech. Be a lamp to those who walk in darkness and a home to the stranger. Be eyes to the blind and a guiding light to the feet of the erring. Be a breath of life to the body of humankind, a dew to the soil of the human heart, and a fruit upon the tree of humility. I think that's really beautiful. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. And that's what we all need to remember in these tricksy times. Many blessings and stay joyful. I'll be back again shortly.